Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for football. Not only is the Hall of Fame game on tonight, and we can watch it together and talk about it, how it unfolds, and hopefully no one has a serious injury, but we're also doing our first real community draft on tonight's stream. That's right, you are going to see a real draft from the community. I am so excited that you're here with me. Football is in the air. Can you smell it? Can you feel it? Can you taste it? Is it in your bones? There's a lot to talk about before we get into this draft. So I do appreciate you for being here with me. Do me a favor, smash that like button to show some love. Just got to let you know that our redraft pass is officially available on the Flock Fantasy site. What is the redraft pass, you might ask? Well, number one, you get access to my 2025 draft guide, which just dropped yesterday. Over 1,600 people now have viewed that and downloaded it, and they're using it in their leagues. It has my rankings, it has my sleepers, my fades, my busts. That's available when you become a season pass member with the promo code LAND. Not only that, but you get access to everyone's draft guide on the website. Mason's draft guide, right? The draft guide from Domain, FSC. All that's available to you, as well as unlimited access to the Flock Fantasy website for the entirety of the season. You get access to 2 start sit vouchers, 2 trade question vouchers, which you can use on the live streams at any point during the 2025 season. Ask me a question. If you've got a question you want to run through the live stream, 4 total vouchers. And of course, updated weekly rankings, both rest of season rankings, weekly rankings, and then every single tool on the site will be yours with a season pass. So we're talking about tools like rankings, like we already talked about, the prospects tool. All right, we're talking about the My Teams tool, which is about to get a nice little update, but it lets you kind of analyze your league, where you stand amongst it. The mock drafts tool, the trade finder tool, where you can look at real leagues happening in real trades happening in real leagues across the globe. The trade calculator, which you can use my rankings for, and you can specifically say, okay, I'm in a redraft full PPR, 1 quarterback, and it's a start 8, and I have 6 bench spots, because that is going to impact the way we grade your trade. It's the best calculator in the industry. The comparison tool, if you want to compare one player to the other. A range of outcomes tool, if you want to see what a player's next season might look like. All that's available to you. And of course, my draft guide on the website when you decide to get a season pass with us. A 2025 season pass, $34. Insane. I don't think there's ever been a product like this ever offered in the fantasy space for this type of price. $34, guys, that's $1.50 for the rest of the week, per week for the rest of the year. $1.50 for the rest of the year, and you get access to all of that stuff. And the last bit that you need to know is, if you sign up with the promo code LAND to be a season pass member, you're also going to have the chance to enter into our community leagues. What's happening on tonight's stream? We're going to show you a real draft with all the people from our community, okay? I cannot wait. It's a real money pot. You can get in these. We're raffling off spots each and every single week. So if you have already signed up for a season pass, or you're an annual Mother Flocker member, either way, you're going to be able to enter. But you will see this link in our announcement section on the Discord. If you haven't joined our Discord, I'll give you a link to our Discord there with Nightbot. But that little document is available for you to fill out. At the moment, I believe we have how many entries for our next one? I'll have to look at that in a second. On the back end, it's over 70 or something, but get yourself in there. I appreciate y'all for being here with us. All right. We got a real league with some real people. I just want to quickly talk about the latest big old news, because there's some crazy news happening in the NFL right now. For example, Terry McLaurin has officially requested a trade. If you're new here, I am a Commanders fan. This is a bit of a shock to me. I'm not going to lie. Definitely a bit of a shock to me. I do think that we need to adjust our rankings slightly. And I'll show you where my rankings stand. And my draft guide, by the way, will have updated rankings every week. The beginning of a new week, updated rankings. But the Flock site will have the most live version of said rankings. So when I go and I look at my rankings right now, I've already made some changes at quarterback. So one of those small changes, and it's nothing drastic. Like I'm not going crazy here, but I am just telling myself, you know what? If there's even a question if Terry McLaurin's available, I am going to go ahead and take Jaden Daniels out of that top tier for myself. I'm probably not willing to draft him ahead of any of the Allens, the Lamars, the Jalen Hurts. At this point, I think the most likely outcome is that Terry McLaurin, they figure it out with the team and he comes back to the team and he's their wide receiver 1. But ultimately, we've seen this kind of holdout thing. We've seen it impact people's seasons, their preparedness, their informedness, if you will, to use a FIFA term. And then you have to ask the question, well, if Jaden Daniels doesn't have his best wide receiver, surely that makes it a decision, right? Surely if you're not sure at this point, almost into August now, if he's going to have Terry McLaurin, maybe that is enough for you to put Jalen Hurts above Jaden Daniels. It's enough for me at this point, and these rankings are fluid as they will be in my draft guide. Then you have to ask the question, okay, well, what about Terry McLaurin? I have moved him down to wide receiver 25. This might be too hesitant, honestly. I might be too low on Terry McLaurin at this point. This is my initial reactions. We'll get these rankings in a really great spot the closer we get to September and late August. But as of the moment, I have to ask the question, will him holding out have any impact on his production? If he gets traded, does he go to a place I even want him to go? You know what I mean? These are the questions that you have to ask. And I didn't have to ask that question about any of these other names like Jameson Williams, George Pickens, DK, Mike Evans, Cortland Sutton. I didn't have to ask that same question about any of these names. Now, let me be very, very clear. My expectation is Terry McLaurin and the Commanders are going to figure this out. I think this is more of just a ploy for them to kind of get on the same page from Terry McLaurin's side. But it did make me rethink Zach Ertz, for example. I moved Zach Ertz to my tight end 14. We have been very high on Deebo Samuel for the entirety of the offseason. I know not everybody is. He's my wide receiver 33. I haven't moved him up or moved him down with this news. He's in the same spot that he already was. But we do have a real draft that we're going to do. But here's the thing. The order isn't decided yet. Shout out to everybody in the Philly League. I have all of your usernames here. And we're going to go ahead and do a 100-yard dash. And then is Commissioner Rowan with us? He is in the building. I see you with me. We're going to do a 100-yard dash right here, right now. And your, how many times we want to shuffle it, guys? How many times do we want to shuffle this? This is a real money draft. Yes, it is, Bryce. It is a real money draft. How many times should we shuffle this? And then we're going to decide the draft order for you guys. Appreciate y'all for being here with us. Again, be a friend. Hit that like button to show some love. Bryce Long said, let's shuffle it 5 times. So we're going to shuffle it 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, that has been shuffled 5 times. And now all that's left to say is good luck to everybody. Let's get this thing going here. This will be your draft order. All right. It's not you get to decide where to draft. No, this is your draft order wherever your little guy finishes. And straight off the block, Steel Mob and Fauner leading the way. TD Vulture isn't out of the end zone yet. Can someone wake up TD Vulture for God's sakes? Fauner looks like, oh, it's Commissioner Rowan. He says, I'm the commissioner. I'm going to get the #1 overall pick. But now TD with little bolt out the backfield. And JK Blaine is just, can someone let JK know that the race has begun? Maybe he's pulled a hammy at the 5-yard line. I'm not 100% sure what's going on with JK here. He's trying his best. Maybe he didn't prepare for this race. But it looks like the first to cross the 50-yard line is actually risky up at the 50-yard line. Right there, he crosses it. Belt to ass is not far behind. We're still seeing JK fall behind, but now it is Quiz who is in last place. Dynasty Dude with a nice little burst there coming out to the 40-yard line. The first over the 40-yard line. First over the 35. He's at the 35. Can he get to the 30? To the 30, the first is Commissioner Rowan. It is a tight race at the bottom here, ladies and gentlemen. Anyone can get the 101 at this point. Who gets Jamar Chase? It's a tie between 8 teams right now. Anyone can get the 101. Quiz forgot that we were doing the race. He stopped off at Quiznos for a sandwich. He's hungry. And it looks like the #1 pick's going to belt to ass, ladies and gentlemen. And followed by that, second is Dynasty Dude. Then we get Risky in third, Joel in fourth, Steel Mob in fifth, Commissioner Rowan gets number 6. And by the way, Commish, can you update the draft order for us? After we get the Commish in 6th, at 7th overall, TD Vulture. Then followed by Jeb in 8th. In 9th is ESR. In 10th is Fawnerd. And it looks like JK Blaine and Quiz. These guys said, are you hungry, bro? Like the race started and they said, I'm hungry. Did you eat anything for dinner? And I said, let's just stop at Quiznos real quick and let's grab us something. Maybe something from Chick-fil-A. So they got some food in their bellies, but they are starting 11th and 12th here. So that is your official draft order for the first league here in the community, the Philly League. So, all right. Commissioner Rowan is going to update this for us. Rowan says, why am I taking a nap at the 25? And just while Commissioner Rowan is updating that draft order, just give me a message when you have it updated, Commish, and I'll come back to that screen. But I just want to give a shout out to everybody here. Who's watching the Hall of Fame game with me? What's up, Daniel Macy? 35 days until kickoff. What's up, Joel in the building? TD's here. Jeb is here. Zick is in the building. Kalani, Tiny Goose, Prince. All of y'all are here showing love. What's up, Andre? Akbar in the building. WG is here. Joshua, I see y'all. I see you. I see that hand. Cheeky, a little cheeky in the building. 50 Cal is here with us. We see Shane in the building. JK in the building, in the draft. John Jeffrey is in the building. What's up, Pistol in the building. Bryce Long in the building. I appreciate y'all for being here with us, and we should have that updated here very soon. What's up, Darth? What's up? Be a friend. Hit that like button to show some love. If you don't have the season pass yet, I mean, get the season pass with promo code LAND. You could be in a league just like this next week. We're doing weekly raffles for people who are either annual Motherflocker members or people who have the 2025 season pass. The best deal in the industry. It's not even close. It's not even close to being close, okay? Let's jump over to the draft board and let's kind of see where things currently stand. It looks like we do have an official draft board. So I want to give a big shout out to Belt to Ass, Dynasty Dude, Risky, Joel, Steel Mob, Rowan, TD, Jeb, ESR, Fawner, Quiz, and JK Blaine. They are supporting us on the Flock site. And it looks like we are seeing Trey Lance with his first throw, and it is a throw to some tight end. I don't know who that is. It looks like that is Will Disley. Oh, that is Will Disley. So shout out to Trey Lance being on the field. All right, should we start the real draft? Should we get into the damn thing? Should we do this? I think we should do it, Rowan. Go ahead and start this bad boy off. If you don't know, this is a start 8, 1 quarterback PPR. This is a real league, real tournament, real prize pot. And is there anything I'm missing that you guys need to know? I think that's all. I think that's all you guys need to know. So we see Jamar Chase coming off the board there at the 101, Jefferson at the 102, then Bijan Robinson at the 103, CeeDee Lamb at the 104. There will be 2 minutes on the clock, so these guys can take as much or as little time as they choose to. But we do have Jamar Chase, Jefferson, Bijan, and CeeDee as your top 4. What's up, Bori? Welcome in. He says the best time of the year is almost here. Omarion, by the way, just took his first carry in the NFL. And he didn't really... Did he go anywhere? No, not really. But... Oh, did he? How did they get down the field so fast? I must be missing something. Omarion. Honestly, this could be pushing his ADP up draft boards everywhere. We'll have to wait and see what that actually looks like. As Steel Mob is at the 105 here, taking his time. Oh my gosh, Omarion is just working his way down the field. If you guys are not seeing Omarion Hampton, he is just working his way down the field on this first drive, ladies and gentlemen. All right, first 4 picks are in. At the 105, Steel Mob is up. Cade says, Hampton about to get that first unofficial buddy. Oh, Tutty. I thought you were, like, trying to call him your buddy. McDoust said, did you see Sal disrespecting JSN? He said to avoid him. Yeah, I'm hoping he does avoid him in the Flock League. All right, looks like we got third down here. First drive, Trey Lance and Omarion Hampton leading the way down the field. Which you love to see. Anytime Trey Lance is leading a drive down the field, you love to see it. Steel Mob on the clock here. He is active. He's got just 5 seconds left to make a pick. I think we know it's going to be one of 2 players. So Jahmyr Gibbs comes off the board there at the 105. Then Saquon Barkley. As Omarion Hampton. Ooh, careful, bro. Can we get Omarion off the field? Like, I don't like the way that tackle just happened right there. Surely you're not going to kick a field goal here. Surely you're going to go for it on 4th and 1, right? Rock Yasin with the tackle. Brings Omarion down. That tackle got me nervous. I'm not going to lie. All right, so the top 6, there's no surprises here, right? It's the big 6. We've talked about this all year. Those top 6 players, Chase, Jefferson, Bijan, they are going for it on 4th and 2, ladies and gentlemen. And it is a fake pass and a beautiful dot to Will Disley. Trey Lance, ladies and gentlemen. Don't let me start talking about Trey Lance again. Lance is quarterback 1, all right? Justin Herbert's job is in jeopardy. I repeat, in jeopardy. No, it's good to see Trey Lance do his thing. That was actually a nice little... Trey Lance never had touch, so that's nice to see him have a little touch throw there. Look at this. Look at this. Little dot right over the defense. Perfectly. You couldn't have thrown a better ball. My gosh. Okay, so Malik Neighbors is the pick at the 107 from TD Vulture. Again, in this Real Philly League. We're going to be doing this at least once per week. Herbert's on the hot seat. He's feeling the pressure, baby. Come on. Draft all the Trey Lance you can get. Oh, so there was a fumble. That's how they got the ball back. Okay, gotcha. How's my dynasty people feeling about Marion Hampton after that first drive? I mean, he looks the part. He's been my 102 since the combine. And he looks every bit of the part of being your 102 this year in dynasty. As Puka Nacua comes off the board at the 108 there. Very curious, again, to see where the likes of, you know, your Jadens, your Terrys go in this draft. I think these people who are drafting in this real league are going to have to make some difficult decisions that you and I watching just get to, you know, kind of chill, sit back, and we get to watch them make those decisions. We don't have to make them yet, which I'm loving. I want to see how this works out. As Fondren goes Derrick Henry at the 110 there. Remember, this is a start 8 format. Scribble says, I'm picking him up. Trey Lance is the truth. Yes, exactly, Shane. Now let's take Amarion out, all right? We saw enough of Amarion, let's be honest. What's up, Demba says you're my favorite advisor. I appreciate that. I've never been called an advisor before. That makes me feel like very smart. So thanks for saying that, I guess. As Nico Collins is the pick at the 111. J.K. Blaine on the clock. I kind of wish I could see ADP. How do I see ADP? Do I have to be in the league to see ADP? As Amon-Ra St. Brown is the pick there from J.K. Blaine, then Ashton Genty. Quiz starts with Nico Collins. I don't want to say anything. I don't want to influence the draft. What a start from Quiz! Let's go! That is one of the best starts I think you can have, ladies and gentlemen. The anchor wide receiver and the first round pick worthy Devon Achane. I mean, I would be hyped. I would be absolutely hyped if I started my draft like that. That's sexy. That's sexy right there from Quiz. That's exactly what we're trying to do in all of our drafts. If I could start the Flock League like that, I would go ahead and lock it up. If you're telling me, Zach, I can guarantee you that you can start the Flock League with this start, I would be ecstatic. Yes, please. As after Achane, we have Drizzy London off the board there at the 203. ESR starting with Brian Thomas. Now on the clock. Has a tough decision to make here. Yeah, I agree. Great to see Amarion out there. I don't think there's anyone from Detroit that matters on the field, right, guys? Let me know if I'm wrong. Is there anyone from Detroit out there that matters or no? I don't think so. I could be wrong. Kyle Allen is playing quarterback, so that should tell you a lot. I mean, shout out to Kyle Allen, former Washington football team legend. Am I right? Then he broke his freaking leg. Okay, Isaac Tesla's out there. I'm hearing some people say Isaac Tesla. Is that Sion Vaki in the backfield? That must be Sion Vaki. Oh, it's Craig Reynolds. Okay, my bad. Mike says Amarion got 2 carries for 9 yards. Let's calm it down. Hall of Famer. I'm calling it right now. Amarion's a Hall of Famer. Holy hell! Whoa! Whoa! Okay. All right. I did not anticipate that. But this is a real league. All right? This is what happens in a real league. You cannot predict anything. And Breece Hall is off the board at the 204. Guys, how many mock drafts have we done this offseason? I don't think I saw that one time. I love being in these real leagues. Anything is possible. You know you're going to get a wild ride. Shout out to ESR. Hey, maybe a Jets fan. Maybe a Breece fan. Maybe he says, you know what? I know Breece is going to be that dude this year. That's the first shocker. That's the first shocker. You can't watch this and tell me you're not shocked there. Jordan says, wow, St. Brown in the 12th. And then we see Breece Hall at the 204. Sheesh. Bing bong. What's up, Shaku? Yes, I am from the USA, but I'm living in the beautiful Australia, Sydney, Australia, my friend. At 2nd and 18, Kyle Allen throws it to whoever 16 is, and they bobbled it and dropped it. Who is 16? That's Dominic Lovett. Yeah, that's not a great sign, Lovett. You had a free catch there, and you bobbled it and dropped it, boy. What's up, Albert? Welcome in, my friend. It's great to have you here with our first real draft of the year. That is crazy, dude. That is, I saw this unfolding and I thought, holy shit. Sorry. Excuse my French. Someone's going to start with Puka Nacua and Christian McCaffrey. Oh my gosh, Jeb. I'm sorry, Quiz. I take back everything I said. Jeb has the best start. It's not even close. Puka Nacua and Christian McCaffrey. I cannot think of a better start in fantasy football this year. Like, think about any spot on the board that you could possibly be in, guys. What would be your favorite start of your draft? To me, Puka Nacua, Christian McCaffrey? Hell yeah. I mean, in a lot of your leagues, CMC might go at the 108 himself. Now, of course, we all know what the injury bug's about, but yeah, Puka and CMC is a crazy, crazy start. WG says, love managers that have conviction to go against ADP and get their guy. It's why we play 100%. Shout out to ESR, man. Shout out to you doing your thing. The reality is, you know, in 2 months from now, you could be pulling this stream up as a receipt and saying, Zach, you're an idiot. Breece Hall should have gone higher. He should have been a first-round pick. Sure, anything's possible. That's why we love fantasy football, right? Appreciate y'all for being here with us. You know what? That brings me to a good question. I need to ask the chat. What is a player that you're going to reach on this year? What is a player that you say, you know what? I don't care if I have to reach a full round, a round and a half. That player is going to be on my team. Clearly, ESR just told us that it was Breece Hall. So, who is that player for you? What is that one player in your mind? Now, I can't reveal who mine is because my Guys episode will be coming out at some point, and I don't want to ruin anything. We have a Joseph says Dontavion Wicks. All right, so Marion Hampton is out. Trey Lance is still in, though. It's checked down to Jarrett Patterson. Washington football legend Jarrett Patterson. All right, who's the guy you're reaching on? Let's see. Shane says George Pickens as A.J. Brown comes off the board there. So Rowan's starting double Philly. He's getting the Philly stack there, if you will. We've got 2 recommendations for Jorge Pickens. Cade says Jameson Williams. We've got a Caleb. Kevin says London belongs in the first round. Second down Hampton. Okay. Let's see. Caleb Johnson, another option. Another one saying Caleb Johnson. What happened to Badaki? We kicked him off, man. We said, you're out of here. It's not, you know, it's not going to work out long term. No, I'm kidding. He's in New York. He's with his family, seeing his family before we all go to Austin together. After Brock Bowers at the 208, which that's a nice start right there. We get Chase Brown, we get Kyron Williams, we get Josh Jacobs, and we get Johnny Taylor. I wish I could see the draft board. Hey, Rowan. Beautiful pass from Trey Lance. And that's KLS. KLS with the pass from Trey Lance, and he catches it. Lance is throwing dimes today. He's in his freaking bag, man. He stayed in that pocket with some confidence. Hit the rookie on the sideline. Trey Lance looks like $1 million, man. All right, so things keep happening that I'm not anticipating are going to happen. And one of those things is James Cook at the 301. We obviously all saw Breece Hall at the 204. It's a real draft, and people are getting the guys they want. To be fair, James Cook is not coming back to the 412. Would I have taken him that high? I don't know. Probably not. Not ahead of Josh Allen. Probably wouldn't take him ahead of Josh Allen. Okay, so the question was, with, us not knowing exactly what Terry McLaurin's situation is going to look like, would Jaden Daniels fall? Would Jaden fall? And the response is overwhelmingly no from Risky here. He takes him at the 303. Then Trey McBride. Y'all let Trey McBride fall to the 304. I don't. Why does this keep happening? I just don't get it. How does Trey McBride keep falling this far? Lad McConkey. Wow. I'm not going to lie. That start from number 4, number 5. Number 4, my lord. Y'all got some nice starts going on here. I haven't seen Lad out of the third much. As Trey Lance avoids a sack. Avoids another sack. And just throws it away. High IQ play from Trey Lance. High IQ play from Trey Lance. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we weren't wrong on Trey Lance. We were just early. Okay? Am I ahead of the game? Damn, I didn't know I was ahead of the game. What's up, Kev? Welcome in. Appreciate you for being here with us. What's up, Double L? He says, are you taking Puka over Neighbors every time? Not every time. Like, if I have the 107 in 3 leagues, I don't want to strap my season to one player, but my rankings would have Puka ahead. And I think you can rationalize both of these guys as options there, right? For Malik Neighbors, he scored 18.2 points per game as a rookie with the worst quarterback room in the NFL. For Puka Nacua, he was second in points per game. Third right behind Chris Godwin. So he's an absolute dog himself. Nobody targets wide receivers more than the Rams. So I think you can make a case for either one of those. Dicker the Kicker not starting off well here. Move him down your rankings. Trey Lance is looking nice, y'all. He's looking nice. What's up, Tony? He says, a big fan of you from the Flock League and all the comedy you brought without even trying. You're coming back to the Flock League, correct? Yes, I am coming back to the Flock League. And, yeah, we were just one step short. Obsessed with the team we built last year. Just, we couldn't get it all done, unfortunately. All right, so Omarion Hampton alert. He does come off the board there at the 309. I don't think that's crazy. I do think that's probably more around where he's going to go in a lot of your real drafts like this real draft here in the Philly League. I think mid-third is going to end up being where that ADP settles for Omarion. So ESR, the shocker there with Breece Hall to start, but the Hampton pick at the 309, that could be really nice. We have Jason at the 306. I'm liking that start from Rowan. T. Higgins at the 307. Lamar Jackson at the 308. And Tyreek Hill falls to the 310. Again, this is a real league. I appreciate you for being here with us. If you want to keep seeing some real leagues, we are doing this weekly. Be a friend. Smash that like button to show some love. Got a like goal today of 75 likes. With your help, I think we can get there. I appreciate the love. Appreciate the support. But we'll be doing this every week, showing you a real league from our community. All right. And if you want to get involved, then the first step is, number one, either buy our 2025 season pass with the promo code LAND, or you can become an annual Mother Flocker member with the promo code LAND on the Flock site. Either way, that will be enough for you to enter into the raffle to get into these leagues. We're raffling off spots every week. We're doing new leagues every week, and I would love for you guys to be a part of it. So grab your season pass with the promo code LAND. It is $34. It is $34. That's $1.50 every week until the end of the season. It's the deal of the century. You get 4 vouchers, 2 start sit, 2 trade, okay? And you get to use those on my live streams. You get access to the Flock site unlimited. You get access to my 2025 draft guide, which is already up on the website. Has my rankings, fades, sleepers, busts, and of course that's going to update every week with new rankings. You also get access to all of the premium tools on the website, and you can get into some of these community leagues. So check out the season pass if you want to become a member, or you can become an annual member with the promo code LAND on the Mother Flocker tier. Okay, so after Tyreek Hill went, we do have Garrett Wilson coming off the board there at the 311. And now J.K. Blaine, who started Amon-Ra Genty, is now grabbing Alvin Kamara here at the 312. And now the 4th round begins, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting into the nitty gritty. Now people are going to have to make some difficult decisions. Justin says, Fawnern is on fire. I mean, if Tyreek Hill is like 80% of what he used to be, Fawnern's team could be Schnasty. He could be schnasty, ladies and gentlemen. Tony says, Zach, I remember your favorite quote. You drafted Tyreek and Tua Superman dove into a defender, and he might not play football ever again, and I'm still laughing today. Golden moments. You know what's funny is I don't even remember saying that, but I love that it stuck with you guys. I think the hardest part about the Flock League is I feel like if you try to be funny, like this is just my opinion. This is kind of the way I was operating. I feel like if you try too hard to be funny, it's kind of not. Oftentimes I'm not funny if I try. So I'm trying just to be myself and be creative, and hopefully you guys enjoy that. And appreciate you, Tony. All right, so we're getting a hot start here. James Conner goes in the 4th round. Chuba Hubbard at the 401. Davante Adams falls to the 404. ESR might have reached on Brees, but Davante Adams falling to him is a steal. Hey Rowan, can you make me just a co-commish just so I can see the draft board? Can you make me co-commish to your team and then kick me afterwards just so I can see the draft board? I just want to be able to show the stream what the draft board's looking like. As Ken Walker comes off the board, that's what I was surprised about. I mean, Fonner, I'm not anti-James Conner at all. I was just surprised that Conner went before Ken Walker. I am loving this start from Jeb. I thought he was going to have to pay the price for going Lamar Jackson earlier. But honestly, Ken Walker's in the same tier for me as the Hamptons, Kamaras. You know, so I'm loving that start, man. Travion Henderson at the 402. Definitely earlier than we anticipated. What's up, Power Branch? She says, dumb question. I am sorry. So the draft guide you put out, I see all of the tiers for each position. Is there any document on there I missed, or that you could have put all the positions together? So you're looking for like an overall. Yeah, if enough people want that, I can definitely consider doing that, Power Branch. The only thing is, the way that I draft is I draft by looking at the tiers by positions. You know what I mean? Like when I'm drafting, I'm specifically looking at my rankings as tiers, and I'm thinking about what players are available in what tiers. I don't really draft as much with like an overall mindset. I know that might be different to other people, but that's kind of the way I am. So I wanted to present my rankings as clearly as I use them for you guys, but doesn't mean I can't change that up as well. Whatever the people want. Oh my gosh. Okay, wait a second. Joe Burrow just went ahead of Jalen Hurts. And Marvin Harrison fell to the 4th round. This draft is crazy, dude. There's nothing like a real draft. You can't replicate this in any other fashion. Guys, we have Breece Hall, who went at the 204. James Cook went at the 301. We have Trey McBride falling to the 304. Oh my gosh. It looks like a pick 6 might be happening here in the Hall of Fame game. No, almost a pick 6. Burrow ahead of Hurts. I mean, it is all happening right now. Power Branch, no, that makes sense. I get it. You're making your guide the way your mind thinks when drafting. Don't say sorry, man. I'm always open to hearing opinions. 6-point passing touchdown, which makes sense. These real leagues never go like the mock, Scribble says. That is true. That is true. Steven says, you got to drop that knowledge on a couple particular league mates in the Flock League. I don't know who you're talking about, but I'm not going to dive into that. Mason says, the JSN train ticket was too expensive for me. Darnold behind bad O-line scares me. I think Cup will take a lot of slot snaps, not snot slaps. Could you imagine a snot slap? Okay, Kittle at the 411. Crazy value. Crazy value. The way some of you guys are drafting is so peculiar to me, and the way others are drafting is like exactly how I would draft, so I'm loving watching this. Gator says, the nice thing about watching these real leagues is that you are not in it. You can have idea what does or doesn't look good for you going forward. That's true. Jeb says, when are you moving Walker up your rankings? I kind of feel comfortable with where Walker is. Where is he right now? He's my RB16, but I have him in this same tier. Like, I personally don't mind if you want to put Walker as high as your RB13. That doesn't bother me at all. You know, you want to make him the next running back after your Josh Jacobs, your Breece Halls. But yeah, I think I still have my preferences. And in some leagues, I might choose him over a Kamara or over a Hampton. But I value these guys as a bucket, kind of in the same light. I do think I prefer Jacobs over Breece. I need to make that slight change just after, you know, the Marshawn Lloyd injury, which we'll continue to monitor. All right, after Rice comes off the board, Mike Evans falls to the 5th round. I mean, Dynasty dude might be running laps here soon. He might be running laps. Mike Evans in the 5th round, y'all. 5th round. This is a real league. Terry McLaurin. So that was the question. The question we asked is, where is Terry McLaurin going to go? After finishing wide receiver 5 last year. Now, I'll be honest, Belt to Ass. What's your name on YouTube, Belt to Ass? You are taking on a lot of risk at the 101. I'm not going to lie to you, my guy. This is the all-risk team. You went early on James Cook in the 301, in my opinion. Doesn't mean I'm right or wrong, right? Now, to be fair, there's probably not many running backs you would have liked at the 412. But then you said, I don't know what's happening with Rashee Rice. All right, let's grab him. I don't care. I know what that feels like. Every time Rice is on the board, you're like, oh, this could be so fun, though. And then you took Terry McLaurin. A lot of risk. It could definitely pay off. You're either finishing in the top 4 or you're finishing dead last, my friend. There is no in between for this team. Oh, Prince, this is you. You got different usernames all over the place, Prince. Prince has like a portfolio of like 10 different usernames. But I love the risk, man. I don't know if I could pass up on Rashee Rice if he was there either. Truthfully. But I think maybe you should have gone Mike to play it a little safer there, but I'm also an idiot, so keep that in mind. Okay, DK Metcalf at the 504. If Joel can figure out them running backs, he is putting together a schnasty team here. Just a schnasty team. Steel Mob says, I'm going to take RJ Harvey. I do love me some RJ. You got 2 phones? Tater says, McLaurin going to get a contract. Daniel's going to make sure of it. You could be right there. What's up, Arnav? Is JJ good for quarterback 1 or backup? I wouldn't have him as my quarterback 1 this year in fantasy football. But take him as one of your last picks as, you know, your second quarterback on your team. What's up, Arnav? He says, so I do ESPN drafts, and you know the website called Fantasy Pros is an extension where, do you know anything like that? I can use it in the live draft for stats and recommendations. So our draft guide, last year, and I think maybe we'll do this. Badaki's with his family, so I don't want to annoy him right now. But our draft guide, if you actually open this bad boy up, the second page is going to be what we call a cheat sheet. And the reason we create those cheat sheets is so you can print them out. I know that sounds like old school, but people last year loved this. We did it last year. You can print it out and cross names off as you go on that cheat sheet. It's the way I actually drafted in the Flock League. We built a monster team doing that. But we might release another post on the site with just the draft sheet for you guys to download. Maybe that might make your life a little bit easier. And also, I'm thinking about it, maybe the draft sheet should be white, not blue, so you don't waste a bunch of ink when you're printing out the draft sheet. So I'll talk to Badaki about that. But Sutton goes at the 506. So Rowan's going heavy on them wide receivers. Is that Isaac Tesla with the catch? Isaac Tesla with the catch. Isaiah Pacheco in round number 5 there. What's up, Kayla? Appreciate that. Thanks for joining us. Keep the blue and make them pay for the toner. You're funny. Guys, I appreciate you for being here with us. We had a like goal on today's stream of 75. A little update. We're currently almost at 50. So we're about 25 likes away from our like goal. Be a friend. Smash that like button to show some love. And if you want to see real drafts throughout the offseason, go ahead and subscribe. We're on the road to 50K. And each and every week, we'll be doing real drafts with members of our community. What you're watching right now is not a mock draft. What you're watching right now is a real draft with people who are supporting Badaki and myself with the promo code LAND on the Flock site. So if you want to see stuff like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because we'll be doing it every single week. And I do have to let you know, just because it's probably the best deal in the industry that we've ever seen ever. Our 2025 season pass is available. When you sign up for the season pass, you get my 2025 draft guide, which will have weekly updated rankings. Only version 1's out right now, but new versions will come out with brand new tools. Vacated targets tool is in there right now. My sleepers, my fades are in there right now. My values are in there right now. But not only do you get my draft guide, you also get access to everyone's draft guide on the website. You get access to unlimited weekly rankings and rest of season rankings in season. You get access to 2 start sit vouchers. You can come ask me a question on the live stream, and 2 trade question vouchers. Again, you can come ask me a question on the live stream. You get access to the Flock Fantasy website all the way through the 2025 season. That's why we call it the season pass. All right. So you get access to my rankings. You get access to the prospects tool. You get access to the range of outcomes, the trade calculator, the trade finder, and then of course, like I said, my draft guide here, which over 1,600 people have already viewed. And the best news is, when you become either a season pass member with promo code LAND or an annual Mother Flocker member with the promo code LAND, you get to be entered into some of these leagues. We're going to be doing a league once per week leading all the way up until the season. So if you decide to sign up tonight, just join our Discord after you do so. And then in the announcements tab under the LAND section, you see that right here, there is a link that I said for community leagues, fill out this form and fill out that form. And we'll be raffling off the next league next week, early in the week. And you could be in the league. You could be drafting with our community, a real league. Would love to have you guys come join us. Let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to DM me. All right, so catching up with this draft, Jameson goes at the 508. Then we see DJ Moore. I haven't seen DJ fall that far in a while. After DJ Moore comes off the board, we get Devonta Smith, Caleb Johnson, then George Pickens at the 512. I love that he fell that far. It's a nice start there from JK. Mark Andrews in the 6th round. Oh my gosh. A real draft always gets a little wild, y'all. You can never predict what's going to happen in a real draft. It is unpredictable. It is unpredictable. Oh, Steven, what's up, man? Appreciate the donation. He says, I was a supporter back in the Patreon days. When you switched, I was skeptical, but I got to say, the value is unparalleled. The best thing about the Flock Fantasy website, guys, is like if you've ever supported a creator that you like on Patreon, for example, is it's basically like the best version of Patreon you will ever see, you'll ever have access to. Because not only do you get my draft guide, but you get like Mason's, you get the domain guys, the FSC's draft guide. The amount of value you get with a membership with us, with the season pass, it's unheard of, honestly. Then you get all the premium tools on the website as well. Like, this type of deal just doesn't exist outside the Flock site. So, appreciate y'all showing some love. I know a lot of people have signed up for the redraft pass in recent days, and we've had some really good feedback from it. So, appreciate y'all for showing some love and seeing some value in it. All right, so Patrick Mahomes goes in the 6th round. Patrick Mahomes and Mr. Mark Andrews. Trey Lance drops back to pass and delivers a little dart underneath the middle. I'm not going to lie. I kind of wish Amarian Hampton was number 8. I kind of wish Amarian Hampton chose number 8. Is that just me? Is that just me? That could be just me. Another super chat here from Cal Kid. I appreciate you. Oh, wow. Super chats are coming in. Okay. Appreciate the love, gang. Cal Kid says 2-keeper league. Full PPR. Josh Allen, Chase Brown, Kyron Williams, London, Brian Thomas, McBride, Irving, Connor. Need 2. So you're telling me you can keep 2? Guys, keeper leagues are always so different. So I need a little more context, Cal Kid, if you can, because you have to keep in mind, in a keeper league, some keeper leagues, there's a round attached to it. So you lose your 3rd round pick if you keep Josh Allen, for example. In other leagues, you don't lose any pick. You just choose a player to keep. So that matters. But if I'm just keeping players, I'd probably say Brian Thomas. Oh, that's tough. I think I'd go Brian Thomas and Irving if there's no round attached. But if you're in like a start 7, like where the lineup is very small, I might actually go ahead and flip that from Brian Thomas Irving to Brian Thomas McBride, just so you have the positional advantage at tight end. But you've got a lot of great options there. That's the route I'd probably go. Sherney, what's up? Another super chat. Appreciate you. Says, yo, Dynasty 12 team half PPR. Who wins between Lamar, Keenan, or Purdy, Chuba, Egbuka, and a first? Yeah, I think if you're going to tier down from Lamar, that is the value that you would anticipate. So I can't really say like someone won or lost this trade because someone's getting Lamar freaking Jackson in a Dynasty league. And I'm assuming this is super flex in Dynasty. If it's one quarterback, then it's a terrible trade and the Purdy side of this wins by a landslide. But if this is super flex, then you got to pay up to get Lamar Jackson. And if you're tiering down from Lamar Jackson, that's pretty good value. You get Purdy, who's a long-term contract guy and a great offense. Chuba, starting running back. Egbuka, I think he's an incredible prospect long-term and a first-round pick. I think that's pretty fair on both sides, I would say. I don't think there's a clear loser in that trade. All right, let's catch up with this draft. After Patrick Mahomes comes off the board, Khalil Shakir comes off the board at the 604. Then Rome Odunze and Zay Flowers. Rome Odunze and Zay Flowers off the board there. These leagues are keeping you on your toes, ladies and gentlemen. These leagues are keeping you on your toes. What's up, Power Branch says, where does Flock Fantasy website get their data for the trade calculator? There's a very specific algorithm that has been formed. It's a great question. It gives me an opportunity to show off the Flock calculator. The calculator, I'm not even just saying this because I'm with Flock Fantasy. It is easily the best calculator in the industry. Who's a member with us? Let the people know in the chat. It is by far the best calculator in the entire industry. It's not even close. Very few calculators, at least now some people are copying us, let you specifically enter your league settings. So is it redraft? Is it dynasty? Is it no PPR, half or full? Is it 12, 8, 10, or 14 team? Is there a tight end premium? Is it super flex? What's your starting lineup look like? Because anytime you change part of this equation, it's going to change the way the calculator responds to your question. Because it should. You know what I mean? Because like it absolutely should change depending on your lineup, depending on your league, depending on your settings. A lot of calculators you just put in this player or this player. Like, what do you mean? Context is important, and our calculator includes that type of context. But it is an algorithm that was very specifically created to make sure that like superstars aren't sold just because you add a bunch of players to the other side. You know what I mean? Like on Keep Trade Cut, for example, you can add like 7 players on the left side that are worth nothing, and it'll be like the equivalent to Josh Allen. That ain't happening on our calculator, right? It is weighted for how valuable a player is to your roster. So, yeah, I can't speak highly of it enough. And again, you guys, you just keep giving me an opportunity to sell the season pass naturally. The trade calculator is one of like 6 or 7 tools that you get when you sign up for the season pass or when you become an annual Mother Flocker member with the promo code LAND. I will go ahead and put that link in the chat. It's the first link on our link tree. For $34, you get the entire season. You get access to the Flock site, all rankings, weekly, rest of season, off season.
You get access to 4 vouchers you can use on the live stream to ask questions, my draft guide, everyone's draft guide, and weekly and rest of season rankings in season. I'm sorry I keep selling it. Like, people are probably going to comment later, can you stop talking about the season pass? It is genuinely the best product that's ever been offered in the industry. It's not even close. It's not even close. All right, so after we had Shakir go in the 6th round, we have Adunze, Flowers, Laporta, Judy, Swift. I'm not going to lie, I did not know what sort of RB2 Joel was going to get. I do not mind having Swift there as his RB2. I thought that could have been worse. It doesn't look like anyone that matters anymore is playing in the Hall of Fame game. Am I wrong about that, though? Someone tell me. I could be wrong. But it doesn't look like anyone important is playing anymore. Aaron Jones goes at the 6'11". Deebo Samuel at the 6'12". You know we love us some Deebo Samuel. Y'all know we love us some Deebo Samuel. All right, trying to keep up with you guys' questions. I love that you're here with me. We had a like goal today of 75 likes. And did we reach it? Let's have a look. We're at 65. Close enough. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support, guys. We're on the road to 50K subscribers. Just hit 45 this week. Or actually, sorry, we just hit 46 today. So we are now less than 4,000 subscribers from 50K, which is insane. What's up, Purple Haze? He says, how would someone go about joining a draft? There are 2 simple steps to joining our drafts, okay? The first step is either buy a season pass with the promo code LAND, or become an annual Mother Flocker member on the Flock Fantasy site with the promo code LAND, okay? So when you sign up, you can either get the season pass with the promo code LAND, or you can go to the annual option and be a Mother Flocker annually. Either way, that's the first step. The second step is to join our Discord, and in the announcements tab, you'll see it's the second announcement, most recent. There's a form there that you can fill out, and in fact, I'll just put it in here. But be aware, if you're not either a season pass member or an annual Mother Flocker member with the promo code LAND, then your entry is not going to mean anything, right? But you guys can enter as many of those leagues as you want. We have a league every week. We're raffling off those spots every week. The Chi-Town League, then the Hollywood, H-Town, and Big Apple. You can enter every single one of those leagues if you want to up your chances of getting in a league. But again, you have to be a member on the Flock site with the promo code LAND, either with a season pass or an annual membership. All right, so after Aaron Jones goes, we do see David Montgomery and Chris Olave goes into the 7th round. This is an actual league, Loom Lord. This is a real league, y'all. This is not a mock draft. This is a real league with the community. They are playing all year long. Then we get Calvin Ridley and Evan Ingram. And now Joel is up, and he goes Joe Mixon. He says, you know what? You only live once. YOLO. You only live once. Why not, with one of these lives, well, with the only life you have, take a shot on a Joe Mixon in the 7th round? It's not a bad idea in the 7th round. Craig Reynolds with a nice little run there. Do you plan on adding in specific points for tight end premium? Maybe. Potentially. You can always go to our Discord and suggest that as well. Sorry, guys. I love all y'all being here with me. It's just hard to keep up with all the questions. We did just get a super chat. What's up, Arnaldo? What's up, man? He says, Zach, my brother, what you think I had London and McConkey on my team last year, and I get to keep one using my 6th round pick? Who would you go with? Ooh, that's a great question. First off, just note that being able to grab either one of these guys with your 6th round pick is an incredible advantage. That's huge. But I would just have to go with the guy that I have ranked highest, which is London. It's not crazy different between the two. Let me go to my rankings here. It's not crazy different between those two, but I do have London just slightly higher. Let me go 2025 wide receiver. So we've got. Oh, sorry, I have Lad higher. My bad. I would go Lad then. My bad. That's just London's ADP is higher. But I don't think you can go wrong here, honestly. That's why they're in the same tier. I'm always very specific in talking about how my tiers are bucketed values. Now, you could play this two ways, though. If you know that you can get Ladd McConkey later in your draft, then you would be able to get Drake London, which ADP says that's probably the case right now in most drafts. I mean, in this draft, London went at the 203 and Ladd went at the 305. So if you know that you can get Ladd McConkey later anyway, you could probably play that strategic game as well, where you just grab London first. Maybe then you grab a running back in round 1. If it's a keeper league, you can decide what you want to do there. Depends on what players are being kept. The ADP is going to look different for everything, right? Strategy might be a little bit different. And then you can get Ladd McConkey later on. Like if you started your draft with like a Jahmyr Gibbs, London Ladd, that's a great way to start. Let me know if that makes sense. Kyle Allen with the throw to whoever number 19 is. That's Lovett, right? Arnav says, what about Joe Mixon? Can I trust him to be an RB2? Also love the editing on the videos. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. We love our video editor. If he's healthy, I think he's a clear RB2 there. I know everybody wants to crown like Nick Chubb as like a big value, but I'm personally not so sold on Nick Chubb being like someone that can really lead a backfield anymore at this point of his career. I know that's not what everyone wants to hear, but I think he's more of a guy that could share a backfield at this point, but probably can't lead a backfield at this point. So I think if Joe Mixon is healthy, it's still his backfield personally. All right. So a lot's happened since those super chats. So for example, Addison went in the 7th round. Judkins went in the 7th round from our commissioner Rowan. So I want to hear from Rowan. What do you think is going to happen with this Judkins situation? You're betting on him there. Then Jaden Reed goes at the 707. Hawkinson at the 708. This was crazy to me. When I saw that happen, I was like, whoa. Hawkinson goes after Mark Andrews, after Evan Ingram, after Sam Laporta. And not just like a pick after. Like a full round from some of those guys. I was surprised. So Quiz goes ahead and grabs Bo Nix there at the 7-11. I do love me some Bo Nix. Currently 2 running backs, quarterback, tight end, and 3 running backs and 2 wide receivers. Sorry. Rowan says, I'm very comfortable with him avoiding suspension, but in my opinion, the worst case scenario is 4 games, and I think he's fine. Yeah, it's so interesting with Judkins because I do think like the exemption list could be used on him, and I don't know what that will look like. But as your RB2, there's some risk there. But I love the confidence. Is there anything worth watching in the Hall of Fame game now, guys? Or have we all kind of come back down to earth and realized, oh, kind of is what it is? But let me know. Is there anything worth watching that I'm missing out on? Shane says a Hall of Fame game is booty cheeks. As Egbuka goes off the board at the 8:02. Okay, Tesla's still in. Got it. Gator says, hey, I had a redraft rookie running back question. I don't see it. Oh, he says, are you fine with any of the top 3 or 4 rookie running backs being your RB2? I would prefer them to be my RB3. Like, I probably personally couldn't take Henderson over like a Ken Walker, like what happened here. But if they're my RB3, I would love that. Like, I guess technically Quiz did that with Caleb here as his RB3. But in an ideal world, you know, you have a little more security. At the same time, we saw wide receivers, rookie wide receivers, win fantasy leagues last year. Why can't the running back class do that this year? It's that talented. I don't see why it would be impossible. Future quarterback Trey Lance ball out. Man, I loved Trey Lance so much, and all he did was hurt me. What's sad is I don't know if we ever really got to see him have a fair shake with the injuries that he got, but I'm saying that as someone who is very clearly biased. So don't take anything I'm saying with any validity. Craig Reynolds in for the touchdown. Yet I feel nothing. It's the Hall of Fame game. Love it. Tezza looks pretty good. Gator says, what would be your top backup running backs this year who have weekly flex value? Gator, I am so glad that you're asking that question, because there's a video that's going to come out on Monday for you guys. By the way, I haven't done this all offseason. I'm doing a double release in back-to-back days. I'm trying it out this weekend. I don't know if it's a good idea or not. I don't know. F it. We're going to try it. So on Sunday, you're getting a video, and I'm very excited about it. Specifically, if you want to know wide receivers that have upside. And then on Monday, you're getting a video about running backs in particular. And I think that video is very helpful. We're trying to identify league-winning running backs in that video. So I won't say anything right now, Gator, because there's a video coming out on Monday that specifically answers this question. At the end of that running back video, I highlight my top 10 handcuff running backs that if there is an injury, these guys could be league winners. So I'm excited for y'all to watch that. Steven says, when you date coach's daughter and then get hurt for the next 2 years, you don't get a fair shake. WG says, I refuse to believe Lance isn't as good as Fields. All right, so for Quiz 15's team, does Igbuka being wide receiver 3 for him scare you at all? Or is it a reasonable choice? I think like I probably would have gone Diggs just because I feel more security in that. But I'm not going to sit here and say it was a wrong pick or it was a bad pick. I don't think that's smart because we all know what Igbuka's upside is. If Godwin, like y'all have seen the photos of Chris Godwin's ankle, right? I had to really move him down my rankings. Did you guys see those photos? Let me see if I can find it. And maybe I'm overreacting, but here it is. Jeff Mueller. We love Jeff Mueller. He always is helping in the DMs and we shout him out in our videos. So jersey reveal was taken on June 9th. So honestly, we could be overreacting. I mean, June 9th is almost 2 months ago. We're like 10 days away from it being 2 months ago. But if you look at his two ankles, look at that right ankle. You can see it up close here. I don't know. It's lining up with what the concerns are for people. I had to just slightly move him down my rankings. I'm more concerned about him than the average person probably is. Yeah, so I don't think Igbuka is a crazy pick there. Would it have been in my pick? Probably not. If I had to choose a wide receiver 3, someone I feel like I can rely on, probably not. Tiny Goose says, think the Steelers will actually run 0 RB, 4 tight end sets? No, not a chance. Not a chance. But with Arthur Smith there, I guess you can never say no, can you? All right, in the 8th round, we had Njoku come off the board. Brian Robinson, ETN, is getting to the nasty boy hours. Cam Scattaboo, which we love. Chris Godwin, Joshua Downs, Jordan Mason. Y'all know I love me some Jordan Mason. Calf looks smaller. John says he's got cankles like Trump. He's got them cankles, but let's hope that that swelling goes down there. Shout out to Antonio Gates, man. What a story Antonio Gates is. Didn't play college football, made the Hall of Fame. Man, Antonio Gates brings me back to like some of the first years I was like the Antonio Gates, the Danian Tomlinson years. That brings me back to some of the first drafts I ever did with my dad's league, my dad's work league. You know, like I remember those like 04-05 seasons where he had like 1,000 yards and double-digit touchdowns, and LaDainian was going crazy. Sometimes I think it's crazy how long I've played fantasy football. I've pretty much been playing since like 2000, which is wild to think about. As Kamani Vidal is doing his thing. Oh, that's not Kamani Vidal. Never mind. Age reveal. I'm 97 next month. So after Jacoby Myers goes, we see Tyrone Tracy. What do we think, chat? Whose backfield is it? Is it Scattaboo's? Is it Tracy's? Anybody on our Dynasty channel probably knows where I stand. $50 Cal says, I still have a hard time seeing the gap between Adunze and Igbuka. Bears offense scares me. I don't know why I have that feeling. I guess I can understand where you're coming from. I think my concern is we could see the Adunze year for Igbuka right now. You know, I think there are less... Sure, the offense has proven less in Chicago. But there are less names to compete with, in my opinion. I know Loveland's there. He's going to play a role, obviously. I know Burden's there. But from the perspective of, like, having a secure role, of anyone there, Adunze is the one I worry about the least. Nobody can replicate Adunze's outside X ability. The boundary play. He is easily the best boundary wide receiver they have. It's not even close. So just don't worry about him in like 2 wide receiver sets or making sure he's on the field a lot. With Igbuka, if Godwin is healthy or McMillan, you know, you do have to ask how often he can get on the field. I mean, at some point, he's so talented, I don't think they'll be able to keep him off the field. But with Ben Johnson being there, expecting that year 2 breakout from Adunze, yeah, I have a hard time not loving Adunze this year. Although he used to go in round 7, now he's going round 5. It is making it a little bit more difficult. Are you guys getting like really creative spam messages lately? Am I the only one? I feel like once a day I get a really creative spam message from someone I don't know. And all I think about is, man, there's someone who's like 70 years old and they just got this message and they're about to lose thousands of dollars. Like I just got a message from someone said, "What's up, fellas? Anybody on for this Melbourne trip?" It's like so clearly a scam to me. But some 70-year-old sitting on his couch probably going to answer that and be like, "Oh, who's this?" And then they're going to lose all their money. These scammers are getting way too creative nowadays. Way too creative. All right, Tank Bigsby at the 9-4. My guy Joel. I like Joel's team. Joel's drafting a lot of players I love. Y'all probably know Joel. He's always showing some love on the Discord. chatting to the community. Rowan says he's in on scat. I'm a scat man too myself. 50 Cal says I am. Spam people are trying to buy my house and I don't have a house. After Golden, we see Juwan Jennings, who did suffer that calf injury. That's maybe why he fell that far. That's pretty far for him to fall, though. Like, for Pearsall to go with the 7-9 and Jennings 2 rounds later, you got to feel pretty good about that. What is the update on him? It's just, they don't have a timeline, do they, for his calf injury? Is that right? Does anyone know anything I don't? Let's see. Charbonnet, Samson in round 9. Whoa. Okay. So this is the update that we have. So Juwan Jennings re-injured the same calf that was bothering him during OTAs. There's no timetable for his return, per Kyle Shanahan. Yeah. I hate it when they say there's no timetable for his return. I don't like that. Like, give me, like, you know it. Come on. Modern day science and technology. You don't know? Like, be for real for a second. Modern day science and technology. You know, you can stick something in my mouth and tell me if I have COVID or whatever they did back then. But you can't figure out if this guy, what the timetable is for him? Come on. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I just refuse to believe it. All right, so Michael Pittman comes off the board there at the 9-10. I can't help but feel like Pittman's going to be a value. I feel like he's going to be one of those players that we look back on and we think, why did we overthink Michael Pittman this late? Why do we overthink it? Loom says his calf will get better when his bank account does. That's hilarious. Purple says, won't let me get the season pass because it says code FLOCK is applied for all purchases. Do I need to make a new account? If you want to get one with us, you can create a new account. That's the way to do it, yeah. You can also feel free to DM me on Discord if you have any questions, my friend. I'll put my username there. Happy to help. Express says, I heard it was a calf injury so he can hold out and get paid. That's everyone's opinion here so far. You guys are funny. Happen had a question here. Says, am I insane for feeling like Javonte belongs up around Pollard? Objectively worse talent than Pollard, but with what should be a better offense than Pollard. Yeah, I'm kind of going back and forth on Javonte Williams. And the reason I say that is because Jaden Blue was already getting some opportunities with the first team. I liked Jaden Blue coming out, not as much as others, but I didn't anticipate him to already be getting work with the first team. So that was a surprise to me, at least. Maybe not to you guys, but it was a bit of a surprise to me. And it tells me, it feels like there is no stronghold on that running back room right now. I mean, they're saying Miles Sanders has just as much of a chance as Javonte Williams to be the guy. And now they're giving Jaden Blue some first team reps. I just don't know that with that happening so early in camp, so early, even before their preseason games, it does really make me ask questions around who we can really count on. And I don't know. Holy shit. KLS just, did you guys see that? Did you see KLS's route just then? Keandre Lambert-Smith just freaking divvied this kid up. Someone find that DB's ankles, man. Someone find that DB's ankles. Let me see if I can find this, if this goes up on Twitter here in a second. That was nasty. Let me see if I can find that for you guys. Anybody else watching that? He just divvied that kid up. Might have to wait a second for that clip to come out. Excuse me. All right, so we see some rookie tight ends coming off the board here in the 10th round at the 10:01 and the 10:02 in Loveland and Warren. I like those values right there. We've also got J.K. Dobbins going at the 9:11, Brandon Ayuk at the 9:12, which you love to see. Let's see, do we have any updated video from KLS? That was ridiculous, dude. This man just juked him out of his... Okay, I've got it. Oh, wait. Do they have it? They don't really have the full play here. Why does no one have the full play? I'll show you what we've got here. Oh, wait. I've got it. Okay. NFL just posted it. All right, where is it? Here it is. If you missed the KLS touchdown, watch him off the line of scrimmage. Ah! Get that kid a map. Yo. Can someone get... look at this guy, right? Look at this fool. Hey. This man has already packed his bags to the sideline. See ya. Oh, that is nasty. This man is an artist. Good Lord. They might have had a steal right there with KLS. In your Dynasty Leagues, this might be your last chance to pick him up. What's up, Craig? I might be saying that wrong. He says, how would you strategize a draft in the 10-man? 3 wide receiver. Am I crazy to overthink RB tier 1 is ultra maybe prioritized? I think in a 10 team, like even in the strategy I just talked about, I would probably still anchor my wide receiver. But if you guys are in those starting lineups, and I've replied to a lot of you guys over on the strategy video, if you guys haven't had a chance to watch the strategy video, we dropped it this week, like 3 days ago now. The response has been awesome. I've been loving hearing from you guys. Let me see. This is the video here. And a lot of people have asked, all right, number 1 strategy in 2025 drafts. A lot of people have asked the question, like, what if I'm in a start 3 wide receiver league? And my response has been, I would still anchor my wide receiver, go RB in round 2, and then instead of RB in round 3, I'm probably going wide receiver in round 3. So I'd probably start, wide receiver, running back, wide receiver in those type of formats. But in your 10-team leagues, maybe you consider like an elite onesie in the 4th round. All right, so after those rookie tight ends, we get a little Jalen Warren action, Trey Harris, Jaden Higgins. I love that pick right there. I wonder if Joel was going to try and grab Chubb to cover off Mixon. Maybe not. Then Tootin, Kupp, Luther Burden, Kyle Williams, Tajay Spears, all coming off the board there. What's up, View? I'm probably saying that wrong. You were with us last. I remember this username. He says CMC is going to end up being a top 2 running back this season. Just watch. Terry had a question. I don't know where is. Oh, half PPR. What's the question? Trade away Kyler, Ken Walker for McBride. You have Gibbs Brown. Then you have Najee Ford. Your current tight end is Njoku. I mean, look, if you make that move, you're going to be pretty weak at running back, but you'll have an elite tight end. If you think that you can trade Njoku for a running back that's startable, then I think you'll be in a good spot. What's up, Mike? He says, hey, are you going to be making a video about guys having good camps for deep leagues? That was really helpful last year. Are you talking about the Dynasty video, Mike? Because if you are, yes, I do have plans to do that. Let me know if you're talking about the Dynasty video or not, though. As Mooney's off the board there at the 10-12. Yes, sir. I have plans to make that video, so that will be out at some point over on the Dynasty channel. Draft grades, Shane says. You all get A++++. Nah, I mean, look. Everybody's got their own goals in mind when they're drafting here. I don't think anyone had a bad draft. I mean, ESR taking Brees that high was really the main shocker, I would say. I do think that Belta did a really good job of building out the wide receiver rooms outside of Rice and McLaurin. Because obviously we all know there's quite a bit of risk there with Rice and McLaurin. But I think he did a good job kind of alleviating that risk with the Olave Myers. I love how some people built out their teams with like the early onesie positions. But I'm a fan of most of your teams. No one I'm looking at that I'm really concerned about. I mean, Steel Mob, my only question is, yeah, he gets Jerome Ford. I was going to say, like, what your running back room is going to look like. Ford is not a bad RB3 if, you go elite onesies early and you kind of punt a running back for quite long. I don't mind that at all. Appreciate y'all for being here with us. You are seeing what is kind of towards the back end of a real draft. This is a real league, real money on the line, real prize pool with our community. And all the people in this league are either a Mother Flocker member with the promo code LAND, or they have our 2025 redraft pass. And if you give me a second here, I'll tell you why the redraft pass is the best deal in the industry in fantasy football, point blank period. It's not even close. It's $34 for the entire season. Okay, that's about $1.50 per week for the rest of the season. If you bought it today, it's ridiculous that it's priced the way it is. It's actually incredibly underpriced. But you get access to 4 vouchers that you can come ask me questions on the site with. Start, sit, and trade question vouchers. You get unlimited access to my rankings, both in the offseason and in season weekly rankings, which obviously not only you get access to my rankings, but you get access to anybody's site rankings, expert consensus rankings. You get access to the prospects tool, the My Team League Analyzer, right? Where let's say you have like a ESPN Yahoo Sleeper League, you can kind of see where you stand amongst the rest of your league. You get access to the mock drafts tab, the trade finder, where you can see real leagues, what trades are happening in real leagues. For example, in a real sleeper league today, in a 1 quarterback start 7, someone traded Jaden Higgins for Jaden Reed. But if I wanted to specifically look at trades for Jaden Reed, then I can click his name and we'll start to look at only trades that have Jaden Reed involved. You get access to the trade calculator, which is the best in the industry, the comparison tool. You compare 2 players side by side. Range of outcomes tool. And of course, you get access to my 2025 draft guide, which is already up on the website. Over 1,600 people have already viewed the draft guide. And the last thing you need to know is you get access to enter raffles for these weekly leagues. Every week, we're doing a real league with our community, and you have a chance to be a part of that just by either buying the season pass or by becoming a promo code LAND annual Mother Flocker member. And again, you get all of that for $1.50 per week. $34 total when you use the promo code LAND. It's insane. I'll put the link in the chat. Best deal in the industry by far. It's not even close. And if you do sign up, feel free to DM me on Discord about how you can kind of get into these raffles for these leagues. That's my Discord name. But you can also go to our Discord under the announcements tab. And the second link in there is the form to sign up for our leagues. It'll be a league every week, all the way leading up until the NFL season. All right, so Kyler Murray goes in the 11th round. I like that a lot. Jerome Ford, then Brock Purdy in the 11th round. I like those late round quarterbacks. Great options. What's up, Jeff? I appreciate that, man. Shout out to you in Bakersfield, California. Let's go Vikings. Skull. Right? Skull, baby. Skull. So after Mims comes off the board, we have a little Herbert action in the 11th, then Fergie, Ray Davis. Ramondre Stevenson in the 11th. Yeah, that's interesting. If you're Quiz, maybe you should have prioritized Ramondre Stevenson. What's Quiz going to do here? He has got 5 running backs, 2 tight ends, 3 receivers. He's got some options here available to him. He goes Dak Prescott. So he grabs another quarterback. My man has more quarterbacks and tight ends than wide receivers, Quiz. Juan says he's from the same place as Jeff, apparently. So you guys might be able to meet up and do a draft together. Might jump into a couple best ball leagues here while we are drafting. We're getting kind of towards the end of the nitty gritty here. It's starting to get to nasty boy hours. It's starting to get to nasty boy hours here. As Rashad Bateman comes off the board. Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. I do like JCM. Ladies and gentlemen, we are balls deep into the deep rounds, the late rounds of a fantasy football draft. And this is when you swing. This is when you say, all right, throw me one right down the middle and let me swing. As Rashawn Johnson comes off the board, as well as Rachaad White. Man, Rowan, if Bucky were to go down, or Laporta recovers, that team could be nasty. Could be absolutely nasty, son. Jerome Ford off the board here at the 11:05. Wicks will be a beast, Loom says. Sheesh, all right. What's up, Brick? Brick says PFF has Brian Thomas Jr. ranked 6th overall for PPR. I know you're high on him, but that seems a bit much. Thoughts? Are you saying they have him ranked 6th overall as in amongst every position or amongst wide receivers? Because 6th overall is a little too rich for me. I have him 9th overall, but he's my wide receiver 6. So I don't think if he's the wide receiver 6, that doesn't sound crazy. 6 overall at any position. I don't know if I can do that, because that means you're gonna pass up. If you take Brian 6 overall, you're gonna pass up on one of Gibbs, Barkley, Jefferson, Lamb, and I can't rationalize doing that. So for me, I probably would say I couldn't see myself doing that. Shane says, I was going to come to Austin for the meet and greet, but I just got engaged. Now I have a wedding to plan. Dude, congratulations. That's awesome. Congrats on getting engaged. That's incredible. That's way more important than the meetup, but that's huge. By the way, thanks for saying that. Just so you guys know, we are doing a meetup in Austin, Texas. Okay. We'd love for you guys to come hang out with Badaki and myself. You can meet me, you can meet him, you can meet everyone on the site, Mason. That is Sunday, August 17th. If you're in the Texas area, if you can drive to it, or even if you want to fly. I know TD Vulture, for example, flew from Philly last year. And you want to come hang out with us. It's about 4 hours. I think it's half price booze. It's either half price food or half price booze or both. I don't remember. But Revelry Kitchen and Bar, 4:30 to 8:30. Come see us there, Sunday, August 18th. Then the day after that, on August 18th, I'm flying back to Sydney, Australia. So Would love for you guys to come hang out. We'll see y'all there. And DM me if you're coming. Would love to say hi. All right. Justin Fields in the 12th round was incredibly impressive. I think Belt to Ass is probably pissed off right now. I think Belt to Ass was probably waiting on Justin Fields at the 12-12. I could be wrong, but I think he was probably eyeing him up thinking I've fooled everyone. Dre says he's pissed. He says, I'm pissed. Yeah, I saw you there. All right, Jordan Love comes off the board. Jordan Love, you know, maybe we could all be overthinking Jordan Love. He says you're right. Jordan Love could bounce back in a big way. What's up, Brick? Yes, sir. I do live in Sydney, Australia, mate. American born, but living in Sydney. Tiny Goose says, take your fiance to the meet and greet, Shane. Honestly, Shane, I'm disappointed that you didn't propose to your fiance at the meet and greet. I'm disappointed. Oh, gosh, you're funny. Are there any quarterback rooms you're avoiding beside the Saints? Avoiding in what sense? Because, like, I'm not drafting, any quarterback from the Saints, but I'm also probably not drafting, like I'm probably not purposely drafting, like, a Tua or a Geno, a Cam, you know, the Colts guys, an Aaron Rodgers, but I'm not afraid of, like, drafting the guys in their offense, you know. JK says, still a 6-point passing touchdown. Not getting Fields is not much of a blow. I still think in a 6-pointer, though. He has top 10 upside pretty easily, though, I would say. By the way, guys, I would love to jump into a 10-team best ball league if you want to join me. There are currently 3 spots in the Rabbit. Rabbit is a 1-quarterback, 15-round, start 8 best ball tournament. The best part about best ball is that you don't have to manage these teams in season. This isn't replacing your home league. If you love drafting and you don't want to have any commitment in season, you should get some practice in for your home leagues, then FastDraft is the perfect thing for you. If you've never downloaded the FastDraft app, I would love to come play with you over here. We have a group chat, actually. If you want to DM me on Discord, I'll add you to it where we're drafting together. But the first step is to download the app on FastDraft. Use the promo code LAND to get your deposit matched up to $50. That is 10 free Flex 4 tournaments on us or 5 free Rabbit tournaments. When you finish your first contest, you're going to get my rookie report and my cheat sheet completely free. I just put a link in the pinned comment. It's the second link on our link tree. But we currently have 3 spots in this Rabbit. I'd love to come get y'all drafting with us. And in fact, if you sign up right now, you probably got a chance to jump into this one. Shane said she probably would have said no. Yeah, that's fair. All right, so Tyler Algier went in the 13th. JK says, get fast draft permitted in Washington. Yeah, where are we at? Let's have a look at the map. Washington, I'm sure it's on the up next. So this is where fast draft is currently able to be played. But I know Michigan is in the works apparently. So anybody over there in Michigan? They just recently got Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania was a big one. Two spots in that Rabbit now. The Northwest sucks, Tiny Goose says. Damn. Yeah, Nevada, the issue with Nevada, honestly, is the casinos. The casinos don't want anyone spending money anywhere else on sports outside of the casinos. So their rules are very, very strict on things like that. All right, we've got just one spot left in this best ball draft over on FastDraft. Use the promo code LAND. Just one spot left. Okay, we're actually jumping into a draft here. So I've been watching. It's time to take some action here. Let's see where we are on the draft board. It's a 10-teamer, so anyone out there in a 10-team league, this would be good for you to get practice. We've got Dre in here with us. It's funny. He's in this real draft on Sleeper, and he said, I'll jump into a best ball league. Where are we at? Okay, so we're at the 9 spot, which is perfect. I love the back end of the board in these drafts. That's perfect. Couldn't think of a better spot. I'll let you know how the first round goes here once my pick is up. But here in the 13th round, it's getting nasty, guys. It's getting nasty. Here in the 13th round, we're talking about names like Algier, Leggett, Tillman, Hollywood. It's getting to these nasty hours. Also, big shout out to Rowan. Anybody who's in the Philly League, Rowan is your point of contact. Of course, you can DM me, but Rowan is your commish. And please listen to what he has to say. And, of course, Rowan, you know you can message me if you have any questions there. But I'm glad we're able to kind of create these reliable leagues for you guys to be a part of. I'm very happy that we get to do that for y'all. Guys, I'm going to do it. I'm going to take him. He takes Kyle Pitts. The only way you can draft Kyle Pitts with any confidence is just vibes. The only thing that you can do is just I got the vibes. All right, so Kirk comes off the board there at the 1307. And just a little update here. We are in a 14-team or a 10-team best ball tournament here. 15 round, 1 quarterback PPR. And the first 5 picks have gone Chase, Gibbs, Lamb, Bijan, Barkley, Jefferson, Genty. And now Justin's up on the clock. Wait. Okay, never mind. As McCaffrey comes off the board, perfect. I don't have a team yet with neighbors. If you guys were with us on yesterday's stream, you would realize that I just have so many teams in the first 6 picks. Because this tourney just dropped. The Rabbit used to be a $20 entry. Now it's just a $10 entry. I don't have many entries at the back end of the board, so I'm excited to finally do this. Oh, this is exactly the draft I want to have. Starting with like a Neighbors, Puka, Nico, and then hitting A-Chan on the return. I am hyped about this. And of course, you know we got the 3rd round reversal in this 10-teamer as well. I'll keep you all updated on what picks I'm making there. As Kirk comes off the board at the 1307. Kirk is sneaky, honestly. Kirk could have some value that none of us are really thinking about. You know? I think it's possible. Prince is talking his talk. He says, if I hit on my receivers, the rest of the Philly League is smoked. As Taj Brooks comes off the board, Jeb's saying, you know what? Let me grab some of them handcuffs here. Then Strange, May, Pat Bryant, Wandale, Mason Taylor, all coming off the board there. Oh, we've got Kenji, who's in the same FastDraft tournament as us. I love that. What's your username over there, Kenji? All right, back on FastDraft over here. We're about to get the 3rd round reversal. That is one of the unique things here on FastDraft. The 101 is not overpowered. You can see Chase and Taylor. And now the reversal in the 3rd round. So Team 12 gets the first pick. He started with 2 wide receivers. What's he going to do here? So he goes Bucky. Man, Chase Brown would be a crazy start, but I could go McBride here. Neighbors, H-Hand, Chase. That's kind of nasty. Yeah, we're going to follow our strategy here. My gosh. The back end of the board is so hot this year, man. Illini says third round reversal is a cheat code this year if you're picking at the bottom of the first round. I agree. 100% agree. Okay, so we've got Justin in the draft with us, by the way. Justin at the 8 spot. He says I sniped him on A-Chan. Or he says, I hope I don't snipe your pick. So after Chase Brown goes, we got Jacobs, McBride, Kyron, Higgins, Garrett Wilson. Amarion goes at the 308. You know what's funny is he actually went at the 308 in this real sleeper draft we did. Oh, sorry, it was a 309, wasn't it? Yeah. He went right here at the 309. And then in this 10-teamer, he goes even higher, if you think about it. Right? 308 in a 10-teamer. After Hampton goes, we have Adams, Josh Allen. What is Bob doing? Bob, what are you doing? In a best ball league, Bob just went Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. This is not a super flex league. Can someone please check on Bob? Bob, what the hell are you doing, dude? Why in the world did you just draft Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen? Oh my gosh. What am I looking at? And someone just drafted Bowers and Kittle as well. What is going on? I'll grab some Marvin Harrison. What the hell is happening in this draft? Landon said it's secretly super flex, and Brick says maybe Bob had a few too many. I think maybe that's it. Maybe Bob had a few too many. Damn it, Jalen Hurts comes off the board. I should have gone him first. That's on me. All right. George Pickens comes off the board. We're gonna grab Rashee Rice in the 5th as our third receiver. I think in a 10 team, I can take on that risk. I can build out my team pretty easily around him. So we have You Can't See Me at the 5 spot, who took Bowers Kittle, and at the one spot, Bob is drunk. Bob's on his 5th beer. He's feeling a little too good about himself right now, I think. All right. We're up to some of our last picks in this real sleeper draft, though. The last round went Taylor, Likely, Royals, Lawrence, McCarthy, Dobbs, Stroud, Johnston, Braylon Allen. And we're getting real close to that time. I'm just going to add someone to our FastDraft group chat. Give me a second here. How do I do that? I'm trying to remember. Settings. Members. How do I do that? I swear I've done that before. I'll do that in a second. As Josh Palmer, Brashard Smith, and Belt to Ass is about to take Mr. Irrelevant here in our first real draft of the year. Who's it going to be? Who's going to be the last pick here? The last melon. The last melon. All right, well, I'm going to make my pick here on FastDraft. Apologize. I should have turned that off. Jalen Waddle went. Swift is an option. I'm going to grab Caleb. There's a lot of receivers I really like, so we'll grab Caleb Johnson here in the 6th round as our RB3. You know, Gator asked that question early. How do you feel about having a rookie running back as your RB2? I said I'd rather have him as my RB3. That's what we just did. And Rome Odunze, I was definitely eyeing Rome up, but I don't have any Chris Olave yet, so I think that's what we're going to do here. Or sorry, Calvin Ridley is what I meant to say. So we'll grab Calvin Ridley. The great news with Calvin Ridley is we don't have to kind of, like in these best ball drafts, I don't have to worry about when do I start Calvin Ridley. I just draft him and his spike weeks get entered automatically. So, by the way, the last pick in this real sleeper draft was Jonnu Smith. Jonnu Smith was the last pick. So I just want to say a big shout out to everybody in the Philly League. Appreciate y'all showing some love. Again, Rowan is your commish. Be patient with him. He's being a big help to the land community right now, making sure these leagues are going smoothly. Make sure your buy-ins are all done on LeagueSafe, and I appreciate y'all. And of course, Rowan, you can reach out to me if anything goes wrong. Appreciate y'all big time. All right, so after I took Calvin Ridley, we have Hunter, Laporta, Hawkinson, Pacheco, and Mahomes. Again, if you're with us, I appreciate you big time for being with us. Season Pass is officially available. It was just released like 2 days ago, and the response has been insanely positive. So if you want the Season Pass, it's only $34 for the entire year. Unlimited access to the Flock Fantasy website, rankings, my draft guide as well is available on there, which rankings on my draft guide will update weekly. 4 vouchers for live streams. 2 are start sit, 2 are trade. All the draft guides on the site, all the tools on the site. And you are eligible to enter some of the follower leagues that we have, the community leagues that we have. So appreciate y'all big time. We're here in a real draft, and through 7 rounds, we have started with Achan, Chase, Caleb, Neighbors, Marvin, Rice, Ridley. I just realized we got the 2 rookie sensations from last year. Obviously, Marvin wasn't a sensation, but he wasn't bad. And I was hoping Mahomes would fall to the 8th round so I could stack him with Rice, but it didn't happen. That's okay. That is okay. You can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want. But if you go sometime, you get what you need. All right. After Zay Flowers goes, we have Evan Ingram, Travis Kelce, Juwan Jennings, Montgomery, Mixon in the 8th round. If Mixon is healthy, we are all overthinking this. Yeah, I'll grab Mark. I'll grab Mark there. I knew that team 10 here on the edge already had a quarterback, but they did not have a tight end, and I didn't want them to grab Mark Andrews before me. So we went ahead and grabbed Mark there. Rowan says, I'm projected to score the most points in week 1 for the Philly League. Rowan, can you send me the league ID for Philly? I'm going to look at it on the Flock site. I want to see where y'all stack up. Damn it. He goes Debo. I was hoping I could grab Debo still. We're going to go ahead and stack up Kyler Murray. This is the cool thing about FastDraft as well. You see your exposures, but you see that little stack by Kyler Murray's name. That lets you know that you can stack someone. So I know that I can stack Kyler Murray here with Marvin Harrison, who I took in the 4th round. You know, in your traditional home leagues, I'm not going to be too worried about that. But in a best ball tournament, I do like the idea of stacking. All right, we have the league ID for this Flock League that was just drafted. And let's have a look at where all of you guys stand, whoever was just in that league. So right now, according to my rankings, let's have a look. According to expert consensus, Belt to Ass has the best team, but everyone did well. If you're 12th, it doesn't really mean anything because everyone's so close. But if we use my rankings specifically, then Joel, that's not surprising. Me and Joel always kind of seem to be on the same page. What did he end up with? McBride, Lamb, T-Mac, Metcalf, Downs, Burden, Brown, Swift, Mixon, Bigsby, Kyler. Yeah, I like that team. Late quarterback, kind of do that a lot as well. Waiver wires, plenty of options at quarterback. I like it, guys. Great draft. I'm gonna remove this so you guys can add it to the Flock site yourself if you want. All right, so after I took Kyler, Ricky, Jerry, Diggs, Brian, Addison, Njoku, Mason, and Shakir come off the board. RGV says, can I give you my sleeper account and draft for me? Oh my gosh. No. But technically, if you think about it technically, you can draft exactly how I would draft when you get the season pass, because you'll have my rankings that will constantly update. So, yeah, again, season pass is the answer for you, my friend. Use the promo code LAND when you sign up to the Flock site. Get the season pass, and you'll know exactly what I would do at every pick, pretty much. So after we go Jordan Mason, Shakir, Kincaid, and Scattaboo come off the board. We're currently looking at a team that has a quarterback in Kyler Murray. We stacked him with Marvin Harrison, a tight end in Mark Andrews. I feel like we can go true BPA from here on out. Justin Fields comes off the board there. Matthew Golden. What are we going to do? It does seem like wide receiver is the play here. There's not many running backs I'm like excited about. Josh Downs is a nice pick there. I mean, shoot, do we go Godwin? I'll grab Jaden Reed. I just want to see what the edge is going to do here. I don't think he's going to grab another wide receiver, but I could be wrong. We might go Reed Godwin here. Or I was going to say we might go Dak. I think Dak was just taken, though. I might be sold on a rookie tight end, too. I'm going to grab one of these rookie tight ends in Warren or Loveland. Surely Chromix is about to grab a tight end, no? So Kraft comes off the board. We've got more stock of Warren. Let's grab a little more Loveland here. Prince say barbecue in Texas on a smoker in 100-degree weather. They are cooked. I love it. What's up, Bricks? Rankings are a tool. Drafting is an art. That's right, my friend. That's true. That is true. So after I took Loveland, Warren comes off the board. Typically, when you see one of them rookies come off the board, the other is right behind him. Godwin goes in the 11th round. Could end up being a steal. So where did Igbuka go then? Igbuka went at the 901 and Godwin at the 1104. We might have adjusted too much. Let me look at something. We might have adjusted too much on the Igbuka Godwin front at this point, guys. Let's have a quick look. Give me 1 second. I'm going to look at some data here. After I took Loveland, we see Purdy, May, Jalen Warren come off the board at the end of this round. A little J.K. Dobbins action. That's pretty cheap for J.K. actually. Okay, let's have a look at some trends here. Godwin and Igbuka. Oh, wow. I did not realize this was the trend. Did you guys know that Igbuka has officially overtaken Godwin in ADP? Damn. Look at these trends in the last month. It has completely flipped. That probably tells you it's time to start targeting Godwin in some drafts. That's kind of wild. What's up, RGV? He says, can you explain the season pass? What's different from last year's system? If you're already a member on the site, let's say like an annual Mother Flocker member or something with someone's code, then you will have everything the season pass has. But the season pass is more aimed towards those people who, let's say like you're not a dynasty guy or you don't want access to the site the entire year. You just want access to the site in season. You want to be able to see it. You want to be able to see rankings. You want the draft guides. You know, you want to be able to jump on a stream and have a couple vouchers to ask me some questions. Then the season pass is for you. But, you know, if you're out there and, you know, you're like, actually, I don't really care about that, then the season pass is probably not for you. But it's $34. I'll put a link in the chat for you. Season pass gives you access to the Flock Fantasy site for the entire 2025 season. Okay? You get access to everyone's rankings. You get access to rest of season rankings, in-season weekly rankings, all the off-season rankings. You get access to my draft guide as well, which we just released a couple days ago. Over 1,600 people have already seen that and downloaded it. You get access to those vouchers that we talked about to come use them on a live stream to ask for advice. You get unlimited access to all the tools on the Flock site as well. So, for example, you get access to like the prospects model, which is awesome. You get access to the mock drafts tab, the trade finder, which shows real trades happening in real leagues. You get access to the trade calculator, which is the best calculator in the industry, the comparison tool, the range of outcomes tool. All these tools you get access to. And then, of course, like today, you probably saw us do that real league with our community, the Philly League that just finished on Sleeper. Well, if you join with a season pass, you also are eligible to enter into those league raffles, which will do a real league every week, every single week, a new league, which will be live streamed on the channel. Let me know if that makes sense, RGV, or if you have any other questions, my friend. All right, so I went back-to-back running backs here in the 13th round, by the way. We went Toot and Charbonnet. I really love grabbing Charbonnet in these best ball tournaments. Just not betting on an injury, but if there is an injury that occurs to a Ken Walker, Charbonnet is gonna win leagues. We've seen how good he was in replacement of Ken Walker last year. So Brick says Egbuka got crazy training camp buzz. I hope he shows out this year. He's a great player. We might have just overcorrected, maybe. That's my only concern. I kind of wish Amarian Hampton kept 28. I feel like number 28 would have looked better. Am I the only one? Maybe I'm the only one. All right, so we have Horrendo and Stevenson coming off the board. Let's have a look and start eyeing up some players. I don't mind Jordan Love as our quarterback, too, with that stack. Benson, I do love me some Trey. Can consider him. Kyle. Y'all know we already got 50% ownership of Tank. I don't mind making that more. I don't have any Nick Chubb. I don't know if I really want Nick Chubb in a best ball, though. I do think Zach Ertz is a little sneaky. So, Bateman, Hunter, Ayuk, White, Stroud come off the board. We can potentially stack Love and Reed. And we know they got some spike weeks in them, don't we? We see that all the time. Last year, they had like 4 or 5 weeks where they both went just crazy. Tank goes early. That's okay. We'll stack Jordan Love with Reed. So those 2 stacks we have now, Kyler and Marvin, Love and Reed. And now in the 15th round, I think I would ideally prefer to have Trey Benson available. Yeah, there goes Trey Benson. That's okay. That would have been my preference. obviously wasn't available. Brenton Strange goes. We'll grab Kyle Williams there. I do love me some Kyle Williams as well. Guys, it is incredibly great to have football back. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Apologize if I talked about the season pass too many times. I'm just far too excited. It is far too good of a deal to not tell you guys about it. Hall of Fame game here in the third quarter. I think that's probably going to be the stream for us today. Again, if you haven't drafted over on FastDraft, I'd love for you to come join me. We're drafting all the time over here. And you can join me in a draft on a real live stream. Like, for example, Prince Dre here at the 3 spot is drafting with us. And he was in our group chat. And he got the notification and he jumped in the draft with me. If you want to be a part of that group chat, just DM me on Discord. Because we're doing drafts together over there. Most streams, pretty much every time I jump on a stream, I'm jumping to a 10-teamer. It's great practice for your home leagues. And obviously, $50,000 prize pool, it doesn't hurt either, does it? 17% full on this $10 rabbit. And I appreciate y'all big time for showing up to the stream. I think that's it for today. All right. Enjoy your night, guys. Later.